Sir, I don't think any format is easy as per se. I mean, if you if you if you look at it, like we haven't the Indian cricket team hasn't won a World Cup since 2011. So if it was that easy, we'd be winning World Cup every second year. So it's easy to say, but I don't think any format is easy. It requires a lot of resilience and a lot of persistence and a lot of determination to be able to win big ICC tournaments.
Over in October, but this is only your second series. How frustrating has the last 2 months been, considering that they've actually seen a lot of cricket? They have been test ODI, but how frustrating has it been for you to miss out on the last couple of series?
Obviously, never easy, especially whenever you get injured, watching your team play, and you feel like you are missing out on all those games, especially when you've just been named the captain. There's so many things that you want to do, and when you set out there, it's definitely very frustrating. But at the same time, you just have to focus on what are the things that you need to do in that moment, and kind of build on that.
शुभम, पिछले 15-20 दिन जो है काफ़ी चीज़ें रही हैं ऑफ द फील्ड, फिटनेस और सारी चीज़ें रही हैं. हाउ एज ए पर्सन, एज ए क्रिकेटर यू हैव प्लेड विद इट, आप डोमेस्टिक क्रिकेट भी खेलने के लिए गए, उस लिहाज से ये सीरीज़ कितना इंपॉर्टेंट अपने माइंडसेट के बारे में बताना.
जी सर, कोई भी सीरीज़ हम खेलते हैं, आई थिंक उसके पीछे कोई एम या कोई गोल रहता है, कीपिंग द वर्ल्ड कप इन माइंड. तो सारी सीरीज़ जो भी हम सीरीज़ खेलते हैं बहुत ही इम्पोर्टेंट रहती है टीम कॉम्बिनेशन देखने के लिए, कौन से प्लेयर हमको कहाँ पे हेल्प कर सकते हैं, किस कंडीशन में हेल्प कर सकते हैं, वो जानने के लिए. और मेरे एटलीस्ट करियर में मैंने अभी तक 5 ODI की मैच की सीरीज़ नहीं खेली है, तो हमको 3 मैच खेलने को ही मिलते हैं. तो 3 कॉम्बिनेशन के हिसाब से ट्राई और टेस्ट करने के लिए बहुत ही कम ODIs अभी हमको मिलते हैं. तो जो भी सीरीज़ हमको मिलती है कि कोशिश रहती है हमारी, जो हमारा बेस्ट कॉम्बिनेशन है, कौन सा कॉम्बिनेशन हमको किस कंडीशन में हेल्प कर सकता है, वो सारी चीज़ें ट्राई करने की हमारी कोशिश रहती है.
ये जो 15-20 दिन की बात बताया था, T20 टीम का भी सिलेक्शन हुआ, उसमें आपका भी था, तो थोड़ा उससे आपको दुख पहुंचा या सेटबैक लगा. एक तो ये दूसरा पूछा था, लास्ट टाइम आप जो न्यूजीलैंड से खेले थे वनडे सीरीज इंडिया में, तो आपने बहुत अच्छा परफॉर्म किया था, डबल हेड भी मारा था और 100 तो काफ़ी तो स्वीट मेमोरीज हैं.
सर, फर्स्टली मेरा ये बिलीफ है कि मेरी लाइफ में आई एम राइट वेयर आई हैव टू बी, एंड जो भी चीज़ें मेरी डेस्टिनी में लिखी, आई थिंक वो सारी चीज़ें कोई वो चीज़ें मुझसे ले नहीं सकता. ऑब्वियसली एज अ प्लेयर एक बिलीफ रहता है आपका कि अगर आप वर्ल्ड कप खेलेंगे तो आप अपनी टीम को, आप अपनी कंट्री को जिताएंगे. बट हैविंग सेड दैट, आई रिस्पेक्टेड द सिलेक्टर्स डिसीजन, जो भी उन्होंने डिसीजन लिया. और wishing the T20 team all the very best, and I really hope that they win the World Cup for us. And yes, the last time we played ODIs against New Zealand, actually my debut was against them, and even in the under-19s we went to play there. So New Zealand has been always a very memorable side for me, and whenever we play them, it's something that I always cherish, and I'm always excited to play against them.
Shubman, afternoon and happy new year. Shubman, continuation of this question. I mean, sports people always talk about having to have the right mental space. From that point of view, I mean, it's a different format, but the World Cup non-selection. Can this have an adverse effect in terms of being in the right headspace?
Sir, I think being an athlete, being a sports person, it's all about being in the present. The more present you are, even when you are on the field, you are doing your primary skill as a batsman or as a bowler. The more present you are, the more you're not thinking about what's going to happen or what has happened in the previous moment. It gives you more chances of succeeding. तो ट्राई वही रहती है सर अभी हमारे, स्पेशली मेरी, कि मैं जितना ज़्यादा looking at what I need to do right now, what is important in this moment. वही मेरी ट्राई रहती है कि जितना ज़्यादा इस मोमेंट में क्या चाहिए, प्रेजेंट मोमेंट में जितना ज़्यादा हम रह सकते हैं, इट मेक्स our life more simpler. And if you make your life more simpler, it's a much peaceful and a happier space that you'd want to be in.
शुभमन, आप काफ़ी यंग कैप्टन हैं और यंग कैप्टन के रहते विराट कोहली और रोहित शर्मा जैसे खिलाड़ियों का टीम में होना कितना बड़ा बैकअप है, और इसको लेकर की ओडीआई सीरीज का रिजल्ट आप क्या देखते हैं?
सर, जिन दो प्लेयरों की आपने आई थिंक नाम लिया है, उनमें से वन इज़ वन ऑफ द ग्रेटेस्ट ओपनर ऑफ ऑल टाइम इन ODIs, एंड विराट भाई इज़ one of the greatest ODI batsmen ever. So definitely when you have these two people in your team, it makes your life a lot more easier. And whenever you are in that kind of, if you're in a tough situation, they always have been in those kind of situation and conditions many times in their life. So you can always go to them and see what how they are thinking or what they would do, and that piece of information is very valuable for any captain.
There have been a lot of discussions about India's approach or supposed suggested approach for red ball cricket. There was a meeting with BCA on the same. Have you been consulted and you can spell out some of the suggestions that you have put?
Sir, one of the suggestions that I was very keen on is, if you would see in the last two test series that we played, we didn't have that much time to prepare. It's not easy playing in India and playing another match in a different country on the fourth day. Especially when you're traveling on long tours. And yes, I feel even if we would have won the series against South Africa, it still wouldn't have made that much of a difference, because we know we need to prepare well to be able to win test matches all over the world. And preparation for me is really big, and I didn't think that we had that much time to prepare when we came back from Australia, or even after the Asia Cup when we played the West Indies series. I think it's important to at least have some bit of preparation, some time, especially changing from white ball format to red ball. So this was one of the things that I was very keen on, and I think will take some action and will keep it in mind to be able to prepare well before the start of any red ball series.
Sorry, just to follow up on it, does this mean that it's practically impossible to have all format specialists, considering there is so much of tight calendar and there is hardly any?
Sir, I don't know, maybe it would be easier to have a little loose calendar. Maybe it would be easier. I don't think in 2016, 2017, 2018 there was a time when if you're coming from another country to here you're playing a match on the 4th day. Maybe it's easier to play a match on the 10th day. Maybe it's easier to play a match on the 12th day. It gives a bit of breather for the players as well. And it gives you that time to prepare and feel confident for the next series.
Right, Shubman, the World Cup is some time away, and looking at this, you have an opposition which is not at full strength. So, as a captain, how do you approach this kind of series? Because the focus is also on the
Sir, I mean, we don't look at any opposition seeing them as they are not at their full strength. We want to be able to play at our full strength, and we want to be able to find the best combinations, like I said earlier, in what kind of a particular situation. Like we'll see, the matches that we play in India, the team who's bowling second, it's relatively difficult for them with the dew. And if we are defending a target, if we can find the best combinations, our bowlers can step up in that conditions. If we can do well, then obviously as a side we would feel a lot more confident. And same thing with batting second. If we have a high target, how often we can chase those high targets, how comfortable we are with whenever we are put under pressure. So these are the things, especially right now when ODI cricket isn't played as much as it was before. Sometimes the art of batting in a particular gear, because when you're batting in Test and T20s, it's completely different. You don't have to change your gears as much, but when you're playing the ODIs, the skill set of a batsman is tested much more, because there's different various gears that you would have to shift from time to time, and that is the skill that we are trying to develop and as much as instill in ourselves as we can.
We'll take two more questions. Shubman, what was being said?
A lot was being said and kind of written about the relationships with the senior players and coaching staff and management, something like that. How are things on that front, given that Kohli a little bit for managers and players, the senior players, Virat Kohli is going to be a little bit of break to the next 2 days series. How is the team atmosphere like from your side?
So I think the team atmosphere is amazing. The players that you named have been in this atmosphere for decades, and they are the people who always try to push the Indian cricket team forward. And I think even in the last series you saw how well they performed. So I think the atmosphere in the team is great right now.
Fine. Sir, yeah.
इंडियन टीम 16 साल के बाद बड़ौदा में आएगी और क्रिकेट लवर्स का जो इंतजार था इंटरेस्ट होगा वो कल खत्म होने जा रहा है। और जब से टीम आई है तब से होटल और स्टेडियम के बाद एक झलक देखने की ये बहुत सारे मैच। सर फैंस के लिए आपका क्या मैसेज है?
सर फैंस के लिए यही मैसेज है कि मैं फर्स्ट टाइम इस स्टेडियम में खेल रहा हूँ और बहुत ही शानदार स्टेडियम है। फैंस जिस तरीके से इवन एयरपोर्ट से जब आ रहे थे तो ऐसा एक्चुअली लग रहा था कि वर्ल्ड कप जीत कर ही आ रहे हैं, जितने लोग वहाँ पे इकट्ठा हुए थे। तो फैंस जिस हिसाब से एयरपोर्ट पे, स्टेडियम पे, प्रैक्टिस पे, होटल के बाहर आ रहे हैं, तो उम्मीद यही रहेगी कि उनको जितनी ज़्यादा मेमोरीज़ दे सकते हैं उतनी ज़्यादा मेमोरीज़ देंगे ये मैच।
हाय सर, जैसे कि 2 दिन से आप यहाँ पे कोटम स्टेडियम पे प्रैक्टिस कर रहे हैं, ग्राउंड नया तैयार किया है, एमिनिटीज और वगैरह कैसा लगा है? क्योंकि 3 ग्राउंड तैयार किए हैं स्पेशली और कल बहुत बड़ा हाई वोल्टेज मैच है, कि एमिनिटीज से लेके ग्राउंड कैसे तैयार किया है? जैसे कि हम सबको तो पता ही है, लेकिन आप लोग प्रैक्टिस करते हो तो कैसा लगा?
सर बहुत ही शानदार ग्राउंड है, बहुत अच्छी एमिनिटीज़ है, इवन रिकवरी रूम और वो सब भी बहुत अच्छा बनाया है, जो कि जनरली हर स्टेडियम में देखने को नहीं मिलता है यहाँ पे। और ग्राउंड और प्रैक्टिस विकेट्स बहुत अच्छे थे। थैंक यू।